Alright. CPAT here with another Exceed commentary, and today we're going to be taking a look at Erika versus Poiman in the Hallowed Knights tournament. This is round 2 of the Swiss brackets. And we're going to be looking at Erika on the Beheaded taking on Poiman's Yuzuriha. Erika is up 2-1 in the set so far, so needs one more game to win. Poiman still needs to win on the Yuzuriha, and then I believe he has Fight left on his roster. So, we're doing this backwards. This is actually the first game I'm commentating because it ended up being quite short. And I only have like 10 or 15 minutes anyway, but it's like a 10-minute game, so I figure I might as well get this one out of the way. Now, if you do like the way I'm splitting these up, let me know. I actually probably prefer doing... Actually, both ways are fine. It's just that these like short little bite-sized videos are more... they're easier for me to kind of produce just because I can sit down for 10 minutes, just do commentary, or not 10, but like 20 minutes normally. Just sit down, bang one of these out. Let me know what you guys think. So anyway, Yuzuriha versus Beheaded. Should be a little bit of an interesting matchup. Yuzu probably, so depends on what kind of traits Beheaded takes. So Beheaded obviously early game is he's not very powerful in the early game without at least brutality or tactics. And Yuzu is a character that in theory can rush down an opponent, especially if you get a good card engage and then you unsheath it. Like that's just an immense pressure that you can put on Beheaded. And we actually saw Beheaded in a match between Sheik and Moriarty that you could find on my channel. We actually saw Beheaded struggle to get going. So it looks like we have a turn 1 Swift and Deadly, move 2 and Strike. Yuzu moving in to and striking. Normally doesn't really have an on-curve option at range 2 besides Cross. So I wonder what this is. It's Spike, and unfortunately Beheaded sweep gets spiked. So good start here for Yuzu as Beheaded takes 5. Sweep unable to trade, losing that light boost as well. Light boost so good against Season 6. Although maybe Yuzu does have a couple good counter boosts, especially in the Ainsel Lost boost. Looks like Beheaded will be striking right away. Mick's doing some camera work here. Could be the Twin Daggers at range 2, 5, 6. Beheaded will be responding with the Kiri, and it is the Twin Daggers, in fact. So the Twin Daggers will be 5, 4 after armor, and that Kiri will hit back for 3. Already, Yuzu's off to a decent start. 1 Twin Daggers down, without the brutality in play is awesome. Means that's just an option that Yuzu won't have to worry about later at range 2, especially. Where, like we said, Yuzu's only real options at range 2 outside of Cross are slower, namely the Assault Shape, and of course she has an extra Spike as well. When she has 2 gauge, she does have the Ultra, the 1-4-7-6, as Come At Me gets boosted, plus 3 power at the start of turn, add this to gauge. Does cost of Force will be spent in the form of the Grasp, and we see Poiman already down to only 2 cards in hand. Really using these resources quite early. To attempt to keep up the pressure against Beheaded. Probably his plan is going to be something along the lines of try to kill Beheaded before Beheaded gets going, as we see a giant killer come out in response to the come at me. So Come At Me will go to gauge, and now there's a plus 4 power on the field for Beheaded. So I don't know. I mean, if Yuzu has the Cross, now's the time to strike with it, and just hope that your opponent doesn't have EX Cross, right? And then if you don't have the Cross, it's probably time to prepare and try to get it. So Season 6 does not have Tech. They have Tech Hit, which is discard a boost and then strike. Looks like Poiman's just going for the regular old-fashioned strike. Let's see where it is. Oh my! Don't think that over here is the most. That is ambitious, sir. That is ambitious, as the Twin Daggers will do 7 with the plus 4 power. Striking with over here at range 2 against a giant killer Beheaded. Huh. That is spicy. That is spicy for sure. Even initiating that strikes, you're spending the card. Beheaded will be striking in turn. The Assault beats the Wild Swing Spike. And suddenly things are looking really, really bad for Yuzu. Just kind of caught Now Beheaded will surely be exceeding for additional stats as well. Probably picking up that Brutality just because they're sitting at close range. Plus, Yuzu prefers to be at a closer range to a further range, so I don't think Tactics will be doing that much work. Actually, yeah, I would pick up the Brutality here just because both players are on low hand size. Poiman has clearly shown how aggressive he wants to be. So I think that Brutality will probably be better than the Tactics at the start. So that +2 power coming in on specials and ultras for Beheaded. Back to Yuzu, finds herself with only one card left in hand. Probably just going to prepare. Should prepare. I mean, you can't strike with that card. Can you boost it? I don't know. Yuzu will key charge and flip. That gauge is looking disgustingly bad at range 1. Only 2 options at range 1 that actually hit. One being the Kyrie and one being the Assault Shape. Beheaded has a free strike here if he chooses to take it with the +1 speed. Luckily for Yuzu, both Twin Daggers are down. So that's like the big threats. But I wouldn't be shocked to see Beheaded strike here into this. If no strike, then a prep. I mean, you've seen Yuzu be very aggressive with her resource management. What is this? I don't like this at all. +3 armor, wild swing. What is going on? This is not sanctioned. This is not okay. Like this is not allowed. Beheaded almost assuredly wins this strike. Yeah. The cross will pop that Saki. This cross is a 4 power cross. Will just pop the Saki by 1 armor. Of course, that +1 power means that the 3 armor on Just Defense is just performs really poorly, right? With the +1 power. So Beheaded will deal 1 damage to Yuzu, flip back. Now at range 4. Saki, of course, will miss, get stunned, or will get stunned out, rather. Back to Yuzu, who has no cards in hand and is just in what appears to be like an awful position. Like, you can't draw cards and move in the same action. Oh, yeah, and of course, Beheaded, that was an initiation, so Beheaded gets a free initiation here, and that's the 6 damage infantry bow. This kind of aggression, like, it just doesn't make sense to me from Poiman, honestly. Like, I don't really know what he was thinking there. Back to Yuzu, you can't even wild swing from your gauge. Your gauge is so bad. You have to either move or prep. This game is already looking like done and dusted. Beheaded's already built up 2 gauge again for another exceed mode, so unless you move to range 1, and even if you move to range 1, you're still going to be dealing with a +1/+1 stat boost. Beheaded spends 1 force moving to range 3. Okay, I mean, in theory, you have a spike. In theory, you have a spike Tachi mix up here. Is it Tachi? No, spike. What's the word? Spike, etc. mix up for Yuzu if you want to take it. But down this much life, I don't even think Beheaded cares that much. Beheaded also matching the speed on that. Okay, I mean, Superior's okay in theory. The problem is Beheaded probably just strikes into it, and it's just like, well, you're caught with a card. Oh, EX Assault drawn. Oh no, ties the Wrenching Whip. Wrenching Whip will D 6 power, 5 after the armor on Assault. Yeah, I mean, it's just like solid play on curve, right, against an opponent who's kind of a nut like this. Beheaded will flip back, push Yuzu back to range 4, where the gauge isn't looking so hot either. Yuzu will attempt to strike in like a last-ditch effort. I mean, surely Beheaded just wins it with tactics, like a Wrenching Whip or anything, like dive even. I guess dive technically doesn't work, but against the Assault Shape, but still, this is over. Spike will miss, and yep, just goes for the dive. Dive is completely safe there. And yeah, Erika's Beheaded will take game 4, and we'll take the set 3-1 in our favor. And just really, really questionable resource management coming out of this Yuzu. Just a very, very strange gameplay. I had no idea what was going on there, as far as what Poiman was thinking. Just too aggressive when it came to spending those resources. And Beheaded will eventually outvalue you or really any character, any character will outvalue you when you're doing that. But Erika takes a set 3-1, moves on to 1-1. Poiman drops down to 0-2. Thank you guys for watching. Hope you enjoyed it. We'll see you for the next one.